Friends, I am Gurudev, and if you follow science, then you would know that in the world of science, nothing is confirmed as true until we have some solid scientific evidence for it. Scientists put a lot of hard work in their discoveries, and to prove their many years of hard work, they do different experiments or new experiments. But do you know that in the famous history of science, many such strange poor experiments have been done, which were otherwise unethical from the point of view of social civilization and humanity? But still the scientists carried it out. These are those strange poor experiments which you can call bizarre, and the government did not take much time to stop these experiments. That's why you might call the scientists who do these experiments as mad scientists. But you will definitely get some new information from the discoveries made by them. And this is the purpose of our today's video. So without wasting any time, let's start. So first of all, let us talk about a startling experiment of 1907 in which a scientist named Dr. Duncan M.C. Dougal. He tried to calculate the weight of the soul. It must be sounding very strange. The Light Valley experiment was similar, and they selected 6 patients who were about to die soon to carry it out. Before they died, they were made to lie on a bed scale, and their weight was measured before their death so that it could be compared with the weight that came after their death. You all know that in religious texts it is believed that the soul leaves the body after death. That's why they had to measure the weight of the soul. One by one he did his experiment on all the people. The weight of the first patient decreased by 21 grams. The second patient's weight decreased immediately after death, but after a few seconds, his weight became the same as before. The other 2 patients also lost weight, but after a few minutes their weight increased even more than before. One patient died while setting up the equipment, so his weight could not be measured. And finally, on weighing the last patient after his death, it was found that there was no change in his weight. But after a minute, his weight decreased by about 28 grams. In this experiment, due to the difference in weight of everyone, it was not proved that there is such a thing as soul. Otherwise, the difference in weight would remain the same every time. But this did not happen, and its scientific explanation came out that the loss of weight of all is due to the changes in the body after death. Like clotting of blood, coming out of the last breath from the lungs, leaving the body of gases generated by chemical reaction. After the results of Extra-S experiment reached the government banned it because it violates human rights, and because of this it is illegal to do such experiments till date. Another such very strange experiment took place in Dadi 4, in which an attempt was made to bring a dead person back to life. This experiment was done in America by Dr. Robert Cornish. They believed that if the flow of blood in a dead body can be restarted somehow, then that dead body can be revived, because when death occurs, the flow of blood stops. For this experiment, he selected some dead patients and injected a chemical called adrenaline in their body, which can thin the blood so that blood flow can be brought back to the body faster. After this, they used to lay the dead body on a big bed which looked like a lead, and used to shake it up and down vigorously, so that the flow of blood can start again. But no one could live again from the dead. Then they tried this experiment on dogs, and surprisingly, out of 5 dogs brought for the experiment, 2 dogs could survive, but 3 dogs could not. After the success achieved in this experiment, he wanted to increase it further. But the US government banned such experiments because it was understood that it is unethical from the point of view of civilization to do any experiment on a dead person. But a few years later, a similar experiment took place in the party in Russia, where scientists tried to keep a dog's head alive. Similar to the experiment done in America, in this experiment, a dog's head, i.e. the part from the neck to the brain, was separated from the body, and to revive it, pure blood was injected into its veins through a machine called auto-injector, supplied with help. When the blood flow started again, the dog started to show some movement, like movement of the ears to the sound, blinking of the eyelids when the bright light hit the eyes, and licking its nose with the tongue. Such movement is called response to stimulus in science, and it was exactly that. You will find the real footage of this experiment by searching on YouTube. But this is very strange. Such experiments were also banned as it was considered animal abuse and is a crime. But not only this, according to civilization, life and death is the law of nature. To try to bring a dead person back to life was to tamper with the law of nature. That is why such experiments are being carried out in today's modern times. Tomorrow i.e. is considered immoral. After this in Mr. in which a scientist named Stanley Megan wanted to measure the willingness of human beings to obey the orders of their bosses or superiors. He wanted to know how his comrades mercilessly tortured people in concentration camps for many years on Hitler's orders. This experiment was a psychological experiment. In this basically two people were kept in two rooms, in which one was a teacher and one was a learner. The room was such that both of them could hear each other, but could not see. In the experiment, the teacher had to ask some questions to the learner, and for every wrong answer, he was given an electric shock. After this experiment, it was found that any person obeyed an officer so that he would not be treated cruelly. This brutal behavior really has an effect, and people get ready to do even what they themselves do not want to do out of fear of the authorities. Due to the cruelty in this experiment, people protested a lot and such experiments were asked to stop. This type of experiment was also declared otherwise yesterday, and such experiments never happened again. But a little before this, when Hitler's terrorism continued during World War II, many painful experiments of a Nazi scientist Joseph Pingel came to the fore. Thousands of experiments were being done during World War II, and the purpose of all this was to get help for the soldiers of Hitler's army through medicines and treatments. And the leader of them all was Joseph Pingel, also known as the Angel of Death. Whenever new prisoners were brought to Dr. Pingel, he used to eagerly look at everyone. This time a twin child would come. He is crazy about twins. Often they used to stitch two twins together with their skin, their blood vessels and even their organs so that they can become Siamese twins. Twins who are conjoined since childhood. But these innocent children often used to get a disease called gangrene, and they used to die a very painful death. Joseph used to do many other experiments like putting people in pressure chambers, killing them by freezing them in ice, castration, i.e. sterilization, separating the internal organs from the body, changing the genders. Let's go right. But it is illegal to do all these experiments done by scientists today in the era of democracy. Committing such scientific crimes can lead to life imprisonment and even death sentence. So friends did the 5 most gruesome and unethical experiments ever. Which one do you think is the most cruel and gruesome out of all these? Do comment below, we would like to know. If you like this video, then don't forget to like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe this channel for more such science videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, watch with another video like this, live and keep learning.